Hello viewers, welcome to the editorial analysis by Drishti IAS. In this section, we regularly take editorials from various newspapers and news portals for a better understanding of various issues happening in India and around the globe. Dear viewers, in this section, we first try to link the editorial with our UPSC syllabus. Then we go analytical in order to understand some key points and at last some important concepts. Dear viewers, we truly hope that you like this initiative taken by Drishti IAS and your feedbacks are important for us. So kindly feel free to give your important feedbacks in the comment section. So without any further delay, let's commence our session.
Dear viewer, this video is available in Hindi as well. If you wish to watch it, please visit our Hindi YouTube channel, Drishti IAS. For your convenience, the link for this video in Hindi has been provided in the description below.
Today's editorial is taken from the Hindu published on 19th of January 2021. The title of today's editorial is Whatever It Takes. If we try to summarize today's editorial, we can say that the government must do all within its power to combat the vaccine hesitancy. If we try to link today's editorial with our UPSC syllabus, we can link it with GS paper 3, which has sections that include science and tech, environment, biodiversity and ecology. Some key points from today's editorial. Faith in entities is often an act of personal commitment, not amenable to falsification, but trust in a scientific process can be established with confidence, building measures, and full disclosures of all the relevant data. Any mass campaign that involves voluntary effort on the part of the public can succeed only when transparency and open communication channels are the tools of choice. Now see, if we speak about having faith on someone, it is a personal choice, it is a personal commitment. But when we speak about trust in a scientific process, that trust can only be established with confidence building measures. And there has to be a complete disclosure of all the data that are associated with one particular scientific process. If we want any mass campaign that actually requires voluntary effort of the people, and only then that campaign can be called successful. So in that case, it is quite important that there has to be a complete transparency and open communication channels from both the sides. The most important thing is government here has to ensure, government here has to motivate the people, government here has to develop the trust that whatever the government is offering them in the form of co-vaccine is something which is authentic, something which has been tested on a large number of people, and there are no risks associated with this vaccine. If poor rate of uptake of the COVID-19 vaccine in the most of the states in the country is any indication, the government has not taken the people of the country along in what is a purely voluntary exercise, but one vested with great power to retard the pace of the epidemic. Now, like we all know, on 16th of January, the government of India started its vaccination process. However, the uptake showed a very poor rate. People, they actually are not able to trust the vaccine that is being developed by the government of India, or you can say is completely developed in the country. For instance, Tamil Nadu, a state perceived to be largely health literate and relatively well equipped with health infrastructure, achieved only over 16% of its targeted coverage on the launch day. If we speak about states like Tamil Nadu, which are considered as a health literate state, and it has got all the required infrastructure for a proper vaccination campaign, the turnout was only 16% of the target that was set for the first day. That means that out of 100%, only 16% came up. Now, this actually shows that the government actually has not taken the people of this country into confidence. Or you can say that the government has not been able to deliver the required amount of message, which is quite important for the successful completion of the vaccination process that has started. This delay or this kind of approach will only retard, will only slow down the pace for ending this epidemic. On the second day of vaccination, the compliance further dropped. In some state, vaccination was suspended. Now, several states on the first day, they showed poor numbers, but on the second day, the situation was even worse. On the second day, there were many states who have to actually suspend the vaccination program, or you can say the compliance was not up to the mark. A marked favoring of the Covishield vaccine over Covaxin was also noticed in multiple states. People are regularly saying that they want the Covishield vaccine and not Covaxin, which is developed by Bharat Biotech. The present scenario, but none of this is a surprise. The signs verily were out there for everyone to see for a long time indeed. Studies measured high level of vaccine hesitancy among the general population and among healthcare workers, the first in the line list of people to receive free vaccination. Clearly, vaccine hesitancy was not addressed sufficiently or not taken seriously enough. Now, according to the various studies that have been done, it shows that among the people, and especially among the health line workers who are actually the first line of defense, there is a tremendous amount of hesitancy to take the vaccine, especially the Covaxin. So it clearly shows that the issue of vaccine hesitancy was not addressed properly by the government, or the government actually failed to take any required measures so that this issue might arise of vaccine hesitancy. The government actually came up with a campaign program and said that we will be vaccinating people. The issue of vaccine hesitancy is something that people right now are thinking. People are thinking that this is for the first time. We don't have the data. We don't know the efficacy rates. And moreover, when a normal vaccine development process takes 3 to 4 years, how come a vaccine has been developed in an year and it has been said effective? The people are also saying that chances are quite high that in the longer run, this vaccine might come up with several other body reactions which might lead to some other diseases. So all these issues were actually not addressed properly by the government. With the sequence of events that followed the clearance of emergency use authorization, in Covaxin it is emergency use authorization in clinical trial mode. A high-handed announcement with a little attempt to put out compelling evidence in the public domain or answer multiple queries in press conference. Vaccine hesitancy merely dug its heel in deeper. See, the emergency use authorization in case in such tough times, the emergency use authorization is given to the vaccine or to various other medicines so that the effect of the disease can be stopped immediately. In the case of Covaxin, the emergency use authorization has been assigned in the clinical trial, the third clinical trial mode, and we don't have the results yet. So it too raises a concern in the mind of the people that we don't have the data as of now and we don't know how effective the vaccine is going to be. The inability of the government and agencies involved to amicably resolve controversies surrounding the clearance for Covaxin even before it was able to produce interim data on efficacy from phase 3 trial has had a direct consequence as witnessed by poor number in its uptake so far. Now, like I said, the government and the agencies involved, they completely failed to resolve the controversies that were surrounding the issue of Covaxin. Also, Covaxin, like I have said repeatedly, the Covaxin has failed to produce the efficacy data from the phase 3 trials. Okay, this thing actually has caused the biggest damage. And as a result, we have seen that the number of people who have to come voluntarily in order to take the vaccine, the numbers are not turning up and that actually is making the entire vaccination campaign a complete failed campaign. The future ahead, a vaccine unequivocally is public good, but lack of transparency surrounding the rollout of the COVID vaccine has done a little to enhance trust in this experiential principle. This uncommon haste in trying to lunge towards the tape while still some distance from the finish line might have been justified if the state had taken the people along. See, the biggest issue is the government has hastily ran towards making a vaccine. All the efforts, we are not doubting, we are not questioning any of the efforts that have been made by the government and the scientists who are involved in the preparation process of the vaccine. But yet, there was supposed to be some calmness. the government could have informed about each and every level to the people, and they could have taken the confidence of the people. Now, if we have waited for so long, we could have waited for another 1 or 1.5 or 2 months till the time we have the clinical trial results efficacy rate. But this harshness has actually caused government a lot. And that's the reason the government, in fact, is not being able to convince the people now. And people also are not turning up. Vaccinating the nation, however, is less a race than a slow or steady process. Building confidence in the process is crucial to achieving the task at hand. See, vaccinating the entire nation, 137 crore people, it's going to be a very tough task. It's not going to be a race. It's going to take at least 2 years from today if we are vaccinating each and every one. And this is something for which we have to develop, we have to build confidence. Prime Minister Narendra Modi oft repeated mantra, Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, is very relevant here. And the Health Ministry must do whatever it takes to make a success of the vaccination drive. Now, the primary agenda, the mantra that Modi ji has always given to this nation is Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas. Now, Sabka Saath means you have to take everyone along. And then by taking everyone along, development should be done. Same should be the case in the vaccination process as well. You have to come up with the data. You have to tell the people, you have to win the confidence of everyone. Only then, in that case, the vaccination process is going to be successful. Otherwise, the health ministry is going to face many challenges with reference to the vaccination drive that the government of India has started. So viewers, this was with today's editorial. Now, a question that can be framed with reference to today's editorial is, what are the various challenges the government is expected to face in the COVID-19 vaccination drive? So viewers, I hope you liked today's editorial analysis. Thank you very much.